Iran has claimed to target Israel's Ben Gurion airport in Tel Aviv in its latest round of missile and drone attacks. Iran's semi official Mehr news agency quoted a statement from the IRGC claiming its latest military success. This coincided with widespread suspicion that Iran has secretly carried out nuclear tests with the help of China. The IRGC announced on Saturday that it carried out the 18th phase of True Promise Operation 3 using numerous suicide and combat drones such as Shahid 136, as well as precision solid fuel and liquid fuel missiles. It said that it had successfully destroyed predetermined targets at Ben Gurion Airport and military operational logistics centers. Due to ruthless censorship on objective media reporting by the Israeli government, it's not clear if Iran has indeed inflicted the damages it claims it has done. But in the past, its claims have been pretty accurate. According to the Israeli media, 6 out of 10 Iranian missiles managed to hit the target. Meanwhile, what should be even more concerning for Israel and its Western backers are widespread rumors of Iran conducting an underground nuclear test. Now, this is massive if true. British politician George Galloway, he tweeted, and I quote, I feel sure Iran just tested a nuclear bomb underground west of Tehran, triggering a 5.2 on the Richter scale. Changes everything if so. End quote. When someone reminded him that this was the second earthquake within a week, he replied, and I quote, the first measured 4. Underground nuclear tests measures 5 plus. End quote. Galloway wasn't alone to claim that Iran may have carried out an underground nuclear test. These are some of the media headlines from top Indian publications. NDTV headline read, Earthquake of magnitude 5.1 hits Iran, sparks theories of nuclear testing. India Today, one of India's largest media groups. It carried out the headline, Twin quakes shake Iran amid Israel conflict. Is there link to nuclear activities? Similar headlines were carried out by other media outlets too. Neither Iran nor Israel have publicly commented on these claims. Some are linking the rumored claims to mystery Chinese cargo arriving in Tehran in recent days. Last week, British newspaper The Telegraph carried this headline, China sends mystery transport planes into Iran. It went on to write that China has a history of supplying Iran despite international criticism. For example, sending thousands of tons of ballistic missile materials that could be used in Iran's development of nuclear weapons. Now, I'm not in a position to confirm the authenticity of these claims, but a reporter asked Donald Trump yesterday about China's mystery cargo arriving in Iran, and this is what he had to say.
President Trump is in any way helping Iran at this moment? We're hearing reports of mysterious planes landing in Iran from China.
They say that they're there to take people out, but I can't tell you about that. I get along very well with China, get along very well with President Xi. I like him, he likes me. We have a very good relationship. We'll see what happens. I can't imagine them getting involved.
Talking about Iran's nuclear ambition, Trump has now declared his own director of intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, useless and effectively a liar to justify his warmongering plans. Tulsi Gabbard had told the US Congress in March this year that Iran was not pursuing nuclear weapons program. Last week, Trump said he didn't care about what Tulsi had to say. Yesterday, he said this.
But they didn't do that.
What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
The Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
She's wrong.
So the question arises, what is forcing Trump that he so desperately wants to drag US troops to help Israel in its illegal war against Iran, even if it means sacrificing his election promises and own legacy? Even Bill Clinton is convinced. Bill Clinton, husband of Hillary Clinton. Even he is convinced that Netanyahu has waged this illegal war to save his political career.
They're not talking about negotiating peace in the Middle East because the Israelis have no intention of, under Prime Minister Netanyahu, of giving the Palestinians a state. And now they're too divided and crushed to organize themselves to achieve it. So, and President Trump apparently agrees with that they shouldn't have a state. But you don't want a disaster either. And Mr. Netanyahu has long wanted to fight Iran because that way he can stay in office forever and ever. I mean, he's been there most of the last 20 years. But I think we should be trying to diffuse it.
What Clinton didn't say that this war was also waged to divert people's attention from the slaughtering of hungry Palestinians in Gaza and forcing the global summit on the recognition of Palestine in New York to get postponed indefinitely. Remember, countries like the UK and France were expected to recognize the independent state of Palestine in that summit. Everyone, including the US podcaster Steve Bannon, understands Netanyahu's game plan, but Trump thinks he can fool them.
But here's the thing. Last Thursday, why did they have to go on a sneak attack last Thursday when President Trump had, and it stated that he was looking for a diplomatic solution and had scheduled in Muscat, Oman, the 6th sessions that he had with Witkoff and others. Now, maybe they weren't making the progress. Maybe they came back and said, we don't like the deal. We're only going to have verification. We're not going to let you take it apart. Could have been all kinds of things in the diplomacy. And we know that a lot of that's true. But what was the rush to go a week ago? Today was their big triumph, beating their chest, shock and awe. What caused them to go then? And particularly what caused them, what sticks in people's craw is why they did this, understanding, which they've been very open about. They couldn't finish the deal. They would get here and get hung out to dry, taking incoming on their civilians, and by the way, run out of Arab missiles and have to come back to the United States as a supplicant and ask for more on credit because they're not paying cash money on the barrelhead. Our special relationship is we just give them what they want. It's going to cost like $14 billion, I think the calculation is. But even worse, they need us for the coup de grace. How can anybody justify that? My issue is not, do they have a nuclear weapon? Not. All this is all interesting. It doesn't get to the heart of it. Benjamin Netanyahu, for his own personal political dilemma, created this sense of urgency that doesn't exist. Created it and did the salesman's upsell. We have to have regime change. And Fox News is boom, boom, boom. This is Iraq war all over again. It's so phony and so obvious. Brian Kennedy, am I wrong in this? And I said, by the way, I fully support the Israelis if they want to do regime change, go for it. I don't care. That's their call. It's Israel first. And particularly if they want to take out the nuclear threat, was supposed to be so awful, they should finish what they started. We didn't start it. They started it.
The bad news for Trump is that he can no longer fool people. Even his die-hard supporters are abandoning him. Just because he is thick and unscrupulous doesn't mean everyone suffers from the same cognitive limitations. With this man at the helm, God save the US and its people. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your support of this platform and our journalism on buymeacoffee.com and Patreon. If you too think that our journalism is worth supporting, then you too should consider becoming part of it. Details are there in the description of this video. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.